Hello everybody, Dr. Rick here dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable weekend. It has been rewarding for me. It has been extremely busy, but it has definitely been rewarding. I'm hoping that everybody is truly enjoying that time. Look, I'm not going to be before you long, but I want to talk to you about something that I think that is immensely important. I have been blessed, in ways unimaginable over the course of my life as a youth and as an adult. But as an adult, I have literally started and brought to profitability 47 companies over the course of 35 or so years. What I have learned in being able to do that and seeing the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the wins and the losses, because there are definitely losses, there are definitely setbacks, is how many people I come across who have been lulled to sleep by the illusion of assurance and safety in their jobs. I'm not a person that runs around and degrade someone because they want to work and have a job unemployed. That's not my approach. That's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I made up in my mind a long time ago that I was going to control my destiny in every way possible, and one of the ways that I've been able to do that is by creating the paths by which I would accomplish things, and that has led to businesses and abilities to serve people. But what gets me is how many people think that based off of the American dream and how things are set up. You know what our parents told us: go get your degree, find a Fortune 500 company, get you a job making $60,000 or $70,000 a year, put money in your savings, put money in your 401k and pension plan, and do what's necessary to set up your nest egg. Well, that plan alone doesn't work in a number of different ways, but I'm going to tell you why it's not certain and why I'm so adamant about people creating diversity in their income streams and having multiple streams of income. If you want one of them to be a job, go for it, but it can't be your primary source long term, and it can't be the only thing that provides your lifestyle. Here's what I can tell you. One of the 47 companies I had was a company that delivered international relocation services. I relocated, expatriated, and repatriated high-level executives for companies like Unical, Norvast, EDS, Flora Daniels, Dresserand, and others. I also had a couple of independent, the guy who used to be the conductor for the Houston Orchestra when he moved back to Paris. I'm the one that made all of that happen. In the expatriation business and repatriation, expatriation, say you're sending someone from the U.S. who is a U.S. citizen over. There's so much to be done. Number one is you have to say, okay, are you selling your home? If you're selling and leasing your home, then your household goods have to be packed. How much of that is going to be stored? How much of that's going to be shipped? How much of it is going to be shipped by sea versus how much is going to be shipped by air so that you can have immediate access to it? You're going to need visas, work visas, student visas. You're going to need a passport if you don't have one. You're going to have to go on home finding expeditions. Then you're going to have someone on the other side that's going to actually be able to customs clear your shipment when it gets into port and have it delivered to your new residence that you've secured, and everything else in between. It was a real quick rundown. Well, in the early 2000s, Enron, a major energy juggernaut, was discovered to be doctoring the books significantly. Comes to find out that the company was actually under when it was reporting significant gains, and it collapsed. Okay, when it collapsed, it was time to start laying off. I was the person that got chose to repatriate all of the expats that were overseas. I'm telling this story for a reason. So what happened is I made sure everything that needed to happen on the origin side of things, which is where they're at, was taken care of so that they can get back here. I'm also the person who is going to be responsible for submitting to them their severance package. I mean, everybody's going, all the high-level executives, so everybody's going. I'm that guy, and it's a few IT guys that I actually made good friends with, and we're still cool today, that they kept on because there were a lot of stuff that they had, files and stuff like that they had to keep up electronically. But they were shut down. They were done. And so I'm the guy, that's sitting up and saying, okay, they're giving you this, they're giving you this. You're going to be able to use your insurance until this day, all the stuff that comes along with it. And a lot of these people, these are 6-figure, 7-figure pickups, so they are more than likely going to be good. Here's what I found, though. The people who worked for them that went over, their executive assistants, were getting hit hard. There was one lady, 61, 62 years old, within a couple of years of retirement. And she was planning on retiring with, according to 401k matching and everything like that, well over $1 million in her nest egg. Let me tell you something else. This whole nest egg thing, people, that's not the way you want to retire anyway. You want to retire with streams of income flowing that you don't have to work for. Thinking you can save enough and then spread that enough by guessing about how long you're going to live and not being able to determine what things may transpire is not a good road. You want to be able to support your lifestyle by a revenue that is flowing and still building and still growing. So what does that mean? That means you got to have streams of income that will work for themselves, and that means passive income. The problem is that none of these people had passive income. They not only were counting on Enron as their primary source of income, they had heavily over-invested and weighted so heavily their investment in people can't park to save their life, man. Just get up here. And anyway, let me get somewhere in this field. I mean, nobody's parked right. I got a pet peeve with that. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, so there's this one lady. So literally, she's expecting to come home and have over $1 million. And I mean, for the average person, $1 million, just say you live off of $50,000 a year. That's going to take you 20 years to spend. You retire 64, so you're 84. But do you get to see how that's still not enough when the average is 78? So the life expectancy is 78. Well, it's dropped to 76 over the last few years because of some things that have gone on that I'm not going to get into. But anyway, but you're going to have a lot of people living well past 84, well past 85, into their 90s. And that money won't be there. How many people are retiring with $1 million and something, and that's not enough? So that's not a good savings. That's not a good retirement plan. Number one is I don't plan on retiring, not because I want to be working, because I have to. I just think that work is your life, your work, not a job, your work, that thing that wakes you up in the morning. When you stop doing it, your reasoning for getting up changes. And I just see people go in the decline, so I'm not doing that. But anyway, here's the thing. She was the most significant, but as far as how much she lost, but everybody was coming back over tanked, thinking they had money and had none. Now she was in probably the worst situation. She was 62. She's not hireable in any job that's going to pay her enough to keep up her lifestyle. She was an executive assistant. If she wasn't making close to 100, she was making around 70 or 80. So she wasn't somebody that can just go out and find they aren't just throwing $70,000 or $80,000 jobs around. So, and they're not going to give it to a person that's 62 years old that's got to be trained and all of this stuff like that. And so she's in a real bad hook. And I showed her something. I showed her how to create and build something based off of what. So she became a consultant. And luckily she was doing okay the last time I talked to her. But I literally developed a relationship to help her because she was out there. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying that because the average person does not have more than one stream of income. And that income 9 times out of 10 is offered and provided and sustained by someone else, meaning that they don't independently control it. You want to have at least 2 streams of income that you control independently, meaning you can't be fired from it, you can't be laid off from it. And I've been doing this all summer long, is I've been offering my 7-day online business lunch. I have created numerous businesses online using the same identical formula because it works. And online is where you have to be. Even if you've got a brick and mortar company, if you don't have an online presence, you're not going to survive. But there's so much that can be done online, and it can be done at fractions of the cost of trying to set up something in a brick and mortar, real live contact, gotta have an office, all this other stuff that goes on. But what I want to do is offer it still. So if you look in the description box, it's still an opportunity for you to get this. And I'm offering it at a very reasonable price. You can see it when you look in the description box. Also, for the people who are like, man, I can't go through all those steps. It's a lot of steps. And it is. It's detailed intensive, but you can do it in 7 days or less. As detailed intensive as it is. You can do it in 7 days or less while you have a full-time job. It can be done. I've done it multiple times. And here's the thing, you can do it. But for the person that says, man, I ain't doing that, man, I want a couple of extra lines of business, but I don't have time. I'm killing it on my job. I'm killing it in this thing I'm doing, and I don't have the time. We will do it. We will do a done-for-you service. We will build the company from scratch, completely out, turn it over to you, working, and we have an unbelievable price for that as well. So for those of you who don't have startup capital and just need some kind of way to get in the game, do it like I've done it so many times before. Get in at a low entry and scale out. For those of you who just want to get something and make it work and you've got the money, you're gonna like the price offer and the price point that's in there. Go check it out. Let's make something happen. But whatever you do, whether you work with me, let me teach you, however you want to do it, let me tell you something. You need to have multiple streams of income. Nobody's going to tell you that's not the way to go, that knows what they're talking about. Everybody's going to tell you, everybody's got different ways of getting there and different schemes and plans and plots and ideas. And when I say schemes and plans and plots, I'm not talking about anything negative or illegal. I'm just talking about you got to be really focused and coming up with ideas. So it's the schematics of it. And so how you get there can be a bunch of different ways. I just found a way that allows you to find some way to meet a need. And then when you meet that need, you go out there and you provide it in a very low-cost way, but you got to have service, you got to have quality. And I go through all of that in the teaching, from A to Z, from concept to business plan to marketing analysis to market plan to launching the company to scaling the company to all of that, and showing you how you can do it in 7 days. I do all that for you. All you got to do is take the course and you can do it. And then, like I said, if you want to go the faster route and just pay my company, Myriad Business Solutions, to do it for you, hey, that link is going to be in there as well. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and smoke me a nice one. Try to relax. It's been a long week, but I'm out.